So it all rests on this. Scotland know what they need to do. A win would all but certainly qualify them for the knockout stages and ensure they make just that little bit of history. Hungary are no joke though. They've not had the tournament start that they would have wanted. However, just before that, they were on a 14-game unbeaten run. The Scotland manager, Steve Clarke, is under no illusion at the threat they pose.
I think when you look at the record over the last few years, they've been building towards this. Good team, well organised, good coach, good discipline without the ball, and a good threat with the ball. Obviously some talented players. I'm not going to name them all. Hopefully we can stifle them and keep them in place. But we expect a difficult game, and I'm sure that the Hungarians are also expecting a difficult game from us. But I think two similar teams, two similar lineups, two similar systems, and hopefully our system is slightly better than their system. I feel good. Obviously we thought it might come down to needing to get something out the last game in the group, so that's the stage we're at. We've been in this position before at the last tournament, so hopefully we can show that we've learned a few lessons, and if we do what we're good at, we've got a chance.
They don't call him Super John McGinn for nothing. You know, the fans absolutely adore him, and he is desperate to give them that moment they've been dreaming of.
The way they've conducted themselves, it makes you proud to be Scottish, really proud to have them supporting us. So they've done their part of the journey and the job, and it's up to us to send them home with more memories, more unforgettable memories than I'm sure they've already made. We all know the magnitude of the game. It's a chance for us to write ourselves in the history books and become a unique Scotland team. So for us, I think everyone wants to be the hero, but it's important that we just play the game normally. We know we're capable of getting the 3 points, and if it is me, I'll take one off a right shin to go in the bottom corner.
John McGinn with a smile back on his face. Let's have a look at the table then for Group A. Historically in this format, 4 points has been enough to see the teams qualify. No one's ever not qualified with 4 points in this format, and Scotland at the moment just on that one, which is why this next game is so important to them against Hungary. They have also struggled with injuries, Kieran Tierney being out too. They managed to get themselves this far, so imagine they're going to be feeling, hopefully, confident that they can get this one done. After the first performance against Germany, Ange, what is your opinion on their next performance against Switzerland?
I have to declare I am on the Scotland bandwagon. I've followed them there since I was up at Celtic for a couple of years, obviously. And look, I think they obviously got blown away that first game. It's always hard when you're facing the hosts. First game of the tournament, it could go either way. The hosts could be nervous, but you could see that Germany were really flying. And that's probably as passive as I've seen the Scottish team for quite a long time. Their strength, and they showed it in the second game, is just their capacity to run, harass. Real energy, Robertson, McGinn, McGregor, Billy Gilmore, McTominay, and if they bring that, they can cause any team problems. I think they'll relish that tomorrow. They've spoken about making history, getting through the group phase. I think they're a good bet for that tomorrow.
I thought Billy Gilmore coming in was massive for them. Just it meant that John McGinn could push on. They got a little bit more momentum, and as you mentioned, I thought they were really aggressive. And it was actually, I enjoyed it, so I'm sure the fans did as well. But you know, these are the clips from the game of the day. But look, everyone's forward, aggressive, pace. We're going for it. We're not sitting back, and it's about the decision-making, final third. Nice little ball in there, and this was actually an unbelievable finish because the setback was fizzed in at McTominay with absolute pace to adjust his feet and then get it in there as well. And they had other chances as well. So, you know, this is a big one here as well, right?
That's a brilliant chance for him. You know, I was devastated for him. I'm hoping to see maybe Shankland play because I know that he's the kind of player with the season he's had, the goals he scored, it's 27 goals. If he can get that half a chance, which they're going to probably need, you know, if they can play well and keep Hungary away from him, keep them off him, and play like they say they can play with their heart and stuff, I believe that they can get something. I believe Shankland might be the one that might take that chance from.
Since we've been out here, their fans have been amazing, and we've been milling around. We've been seeing fans from all different sorts of nations, and I think when you see the other nations singing "No Scotland, No Party," you know that these guys are popular and they're doing something right. Do you miss the Scotland fans?
I do. That's part of the kind of reason I'm on the bandwagon. It's when the national team plays, it's just amazing. You know, the atmosphere they create. And the good thing is now, I think over the recent years, particularly since Steve Clarke has taken over, you know, the team represents them really well. You know, they're not they're not afraid to take a backward step against anybody, and they go at them, and it's a credit to them, and it's going to play a big part tomorrow, for sure.
Right, just a little bit more on Steve Clarke as well, and exactly what he's had to deal with. Like Andrew's saying about those injuries, it's not been easy for him.
It's not been easy for him, and like you say, with that first game against the host, that was a tough one. But again, that's what happens. You know, whether it's international football or just normal league football, you know, you're going to get the injuries. You have to try and pick the players to come in to try and fill the gaps, and that's what he's going to have to do. You know, that's what they're going to have to do. The players are going to have to come in and step up and try and do it, try and get it done.
Might be easy, Karen, when it gets hungry.
No, it won't, but I thought it was harder for them to pick him up after 5-1.
Yeah.
So if he can do that, there's no reason why he can't go into the final game with absolute belief and confidence, and you can see where you want to go. You mentioned you knew they might be in this position, so they're very much prepared for it, but it's all to play for.
It is all to play for. I imagine as well, like you're saying, the momentum of it and coming back, it's not a win, but it kind of will feel like a win in comparison to that first game.
Absolutely, bouncing back from such a poor start, and Switzerland was going to be a tough opponent for them in that second game. They couldn't afford to lose that game. They hung in there. I just really think, you know, Roddy mentioned Shanklin, but I think with McTominay, McGinn, they've got goals in that team from players from all avenues, and I just think there's a sense of history with this group of players who have been together for quite a while, and tomorrow's their chance.
It is.